this is Dr. Amanda. I'm going to do a quick disclaimer before we start this video. I am going to use a few logos and other captions from Delta and United Airlines. If you are with Delta or United Airlines, this is not a disparaging video at all. As a matter of fact, this video will probably get you so many more people flying your product. I am a huge fan of both of your products and of your airlines. I am a micro-influencer and a dentist who flies for business all the time. So I exclusively fly Delta and United, and I'm just going to talk about their products. So hopefully you're okay with me using some screenshots of your logos. If you are not, please do not have your legal team serve me. Please just have your C-suite team reach out to me directly, and I'll kindly take this down if you don't like this video. Thank you. Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. And I just got back from some travel. I was meeting some clients, also doing some stuff with my family. And I ended up, I was very fortunate between credit card offers and just saving my points. I was able to fly United Polaris from Hawaii to the East Coast one way. And I was able to fly Delta One, their Sky Lounge, on the way back direct from Atlanta back to Honolulu, which was really nice. And I get a lot of people that ask me travel questions because obviously I know Hawaii backwards and forwards, and I've done some content. I've started making some content just because it is probably the number 2 thing people want to talk to me about besides teeth. So, might as well put it out there so the FAQs are answered. So I just wanted to explore. I'm normally a United girly. I've been 1K for like 7 or 8 years, maybe longer. But I started, now that my son's at school in Boston and I have family in Atlanta, I've started being like, oh, I should really check out this Delta because there's direct flights to Boston and direct flights to Atlanta, as well as to a few other places. So I'm going to go over the pros and cons. So let's just start with the physical, what to expect, right? Like, what do you have when you get on the plane? So we'll start with United first. So, the products are pretty comparable. I'm not going to go over price because I know pricing is dynamic. I think it's pretty much the same. Obviously, there's Polaris domestic, and then there's Polaris international. And these are 2 different types of service. And they make that pretty clear, although I feel like it's a little confusing sometimes because you might be on the metal, you might be in a United tube, in a metal United physical plane with a Polaris seat, but the experience you're going to get going from Hawaii to, say, Chicago or Hawaii to DC is going to be different than if you go, DC to Tokyo. It's just different level of service. So anyway, so what you're going to get is the Polaris experience is always way better when you have the 1-2-1 setting. So the 767s, 777s, and some of the 787s have been retrofitted to the 1-2-1 layout. Those are the only good ones. The other ones I call dorm style, they're junk. You don't want to be, so you got to check your aircraft ahead of time. Those are the 242s. Those are terrible. In a pinch, I would take them, but it would never be my first choice. Those, they usually fly to the West Coast or to Houston or to Denver, LA, San Francisco. Sometimes LA and San Francisco get the good ones, but for the most part, the longer haul get the better 1-2-1 layout. So those are the ones I try to aim for. You will get a really comfy blanket. It's actually an awesome blanket. Sometimes I try to ask for 2 because if you're on a international flight, they'll have mattress pads, PJs, and socks. But domestic, you're not going to get that. I've occasionally gotten the slippers if you ask for that. Sometimes you'll get slippers if you ask. Usually they don't have them. And sometimes they'll have extra. Sometimes you can get the gel pillow or the mattress pad. But it's worth an ask. But it's usually no, they don't usually have them on board. But the pillow is pretty comfy. It's a Saks Fifth pillow, a Saks Fifth Ave, and Saks Fifth Avenue blankie. It's like down inside. So I think they're very comfy. They're definitely, we'll get to the Delta and the comparison shortly, but you'll get that. And then we'll get to the amenity bags after. Let's go over the actual, physical hardware first. So that is what you'll get getting on, and you'll have that little room that you go into. So wherever you sit on United, I'd always recommend doing the odd number seats, not the even, and don't be close to the bathrooms. So don't be the first or the last. And odd is more privacy. You're more in. I like the layout better on United because they do kind of a herringbone layout. And Seat Guru doesn't exist anymore. I went out of business, which is too bad. But you can usually look and you'll see the herringbone pattern. Sometimes it's explained, but there's a lot of the Points guys and other videos about it. You're going to have a lot less. You're going to be very exposed if you're in an even seat and much more private if you're in an odd. But honestly, if you have a big caboose or a big behind, you're not going to be able to get into that odd number. It's very narrow. So I would recommend if you're a wider person to pick the even. Otherwise, you're going to struggle getting in that little bitty hole in there. It's a little, unless you're very tall. So because your butt will get stuck on it. As a girl who's been bigger at portions in her life and now isn't. Anyways, okay, so that's the layout. So now let's talk about Delta's layout or Delta's hardware. So Delta's a little bit different in that it doesn't have the herringbone pattern. Everything on the outside just angles out, which is kind of nice, but it's also, I think, physically a little bit smaller. It seemed like it was a lot tinier than the United cabins in terms of the actual square footage. They have a lot of stuff that pops in and out, which is nice, which they try to maintain the space. But I feel like since they didn't, engineering wise, put it in a better layout like United, it's much smaller. There's definitely more room in the aisleways. That there's more space there, and it's probably better for the people going by. But it feels really tight and confined in there. I literally, my legs were sore, and I'm not that tall of a person after an 11-hour flight, and I got up a lot. But anyways, you will also get a pillow and a blanket, but not as good as United's. They did give a pair of slippers, which you'll see. Okay, so now let's talk about the amenity bags. So we're going to compare the two amenity bags. The amenity bag for United it's special to me because I love that brand. So they tend to pick brands. So right now they're repping Ren Spooner, which is one of our favorite Aloha shirt brands. We buy a lot of clothes from them. And it's in the same material as a Ren Spooner bag. So I really like the bag. And they usually come in a bunch of different colors, although lately they've been these hot pink ones. But with the Aloha print and the surfers on them, it's pretty cool. But it's gotten really cheap inside. You get a really junky eye mask, a pair of junky earplugs, a really bad toothbrush. It used to be a good one. And just real basic. It's not even like chapstick. It's like Blistex, hand lotion, and a little atomizer, room spray to make it smell good. Whatever they had before was better. The new stuff, the UA products were better. Whatever they have now is not that great. As compared to the Delta One amenity kit, which is much bigger, you can see it's that white bag. I don't like the bag at all. The bag looks cheap. It looks like something you'd get from Estee Lauder that my auntie used to bring in, and I want to throw it out. But the stuff inside is really, really nice. I loved what was inside, like the quality of the products, the hand lotion, the toothpaste. Like I would actually go, when I used the products that were in the Delta one, I actually made me want to go look at those products and buy full size products. So that's kind of the point. Before, when they had the UA products with United, I actually went out to the UA website and I bought stuff. So I loved whatever was in the Delta one. I loved, and also had socks, which was nice, and a few other things. So definitely better components in the Delta one amenity bag. So we're going to talk about United's food versus Delta's food. Keep in mind, both these flights were, I think the United one was about 8 or 9 hours going one way, and the Delta one was about 10 to 11 hours going the other way. The United one was a red eye, so we didn't get as much food, although they still serve 2 meals. I don't think it really changes things. If you leave at night, they serve a dinner and then they serve a breakfast. And the Delta one going the other way, they serve 2 savory meals, no breakfast. Because one is a lunch and one is like a snack. So let's go ahead and show the photos now. On both of them, just to try to compare things, I picked the vegetarian option, which was like a pasta dish. But I mean, hands down, the quality of the food was 10 times better on Delta. United's food is abysmal. It's so bad to the point where I almost sometimes just don't order it at all. It's just gross. Sometimes the desserts are good, but it's like a 4 out of 10. United, like it's edible, but it's just ew. So you can see the pasta. I mean, it was just real basic. Roll is stale, everything like that. The only thing that's like, the salads are getting better. I don't know what this thing is. It's like a burrata that they put some pistachios in and some balsamic. It was okay. And this was just like a cannelloni or a manicotti or something, spinach. Wines for United are inedible. I don't drink them. They taste terrible, whatever they are. I don't know. They're very cheap. They used to have good ones. And then, unfortunately, usually dessert on United is usually good. I'm going to show you a cheese plate, which is the United food photo. It's going to have some cheese and some grapes. They usually have an ice cream sundae that they make for you, but they were out or they just didn't have it loaded on the flight, which was a bummer, right? That's kind of what they're known for. So all they had was a cheese plate and like a pineapple cake, and the pineapple cake was gross. I've had it before. It's super sweet and like blah. Cheese plate was decent. So I'm showing you a photo of the cheese plate. Now let's go to the Delta food. Holy cow, the Delta food. Like if it was on Uber Eats, I would order it every day. It was like these stuffed peppers with this goat cheese, and it was delicious. Like I would have ordered like 4 of those plates. And then they had some like pickled veggies and a really yummy salad. And then also for dessert, they let me have both, which is so sweet. So you can see the cheese plate, which is kind of similar to United's cheese plate. And then there was this delicious like peanut butter, I think it was like a peanut butter bar. Like it made it look like a chocolate bar, but it was super good, whatever it was. some custard. And then you can see the meal we were served right before we landed, which was like a truffled pizza, mushroom. I don't know how they kept it from getting soggy all those hours, unless they made it fresh, because it was like it just came out of a pizza oven. And the salad with the artichokes was incredible. It was just, and this dessert, oh my goodness. The dessert was so yummy. It was like a mango mousse with homemade custard. It's like a 10 out of 10, like fancy restaurant level food for Delta. So bravo to Delta for their food. When you first got on, bottled water, I think they're both giving that now. You usually get a welcome drink. I thought the drinks were better on Delta. And you also get a menu on Delta, which we didn't ever get on United unless it's international, which was kind of nice to see the wines and to see the stuff up front, because otherwise when they come around, you don't always know what you're getting. So it's nice to be able to read it first. I think in terms of service, I mean, not that when I fly, I'm not looking to have my, what kissed or anything like that. But I mean, so polite, like Delta, so polite, so nice. The crew was based from Atlanta, and they definitely had Southern hospitality. There was like zero Hawaii vibes going on the Delta flight. Whereas the crew on United is often based in Hawaii. They often speak some pidgin. They have a local accent. I kind of like the Hawaii flair on the Delta one, which you're not, sorry, on United one. But all in all, they don't fly to the same city, so I'm going to pick whatever one is direct. But if I had to choose, I would definitely pick Delta now. So I will be working my way more towards their version of the frequent flyer, although I'm only gold right now. But anyways, all right. Thanks so much for listening. Hopefully that helps someone.